right. Without wasting time, I'll share my notes. So the plan this night is to understand this document, test plan, test scenario, and test cases. This is what we're going to use for testing after building. So what is a test plan? Just like we have a project plan. During the testing, we need to have a plan. Plan is a deliverable on its own that needs to be planned very well. So it's a formal document outlining the strategy, resources, and the schedule for testing activities. It acts as a blueprint to guide the testing team and ensure all aspects of the system are thoroughly validated. So after building, we already know how user stories, we've seen user stories, we've seen our product backlog, which is a composition of user stories and other activities like tasks and bug. Every of them we complete, they need to be tested. So this is what we're going to be doing. When we finish, we are going to invite the stakeholders where they are going to be present. We're then going to use the system we configured before the stakeholders. This is a way of testing to see that it's working. And it's for validation. During the testing, any part of the system that doesn't work or any of the user stories that doesn't work as expected, then we are going to fail that particular user story. But the testing plan is a structured outlines on how we are going to carry out this testing. The test scenario is high-level description of what needs to be tested. It represents particular functionality or feature from end user's point of view. So the test plan is a plan, blueprint of how to test the whole system. Then test scenario represents a feature. We're testing a feature. And if we are breaking it down further, we have test cases. Then test cases is that small user stories. So a test case is a specific set of input, execution, steps, and expected outcome designed to verify functionality of a system. So that is just like a use case. We don't use cases. This one is test cases. How we're going to carry out the test, testing all the small activities, everything we need to do, all the input and output, the input and the expected output where we're going to carry out the testing, the data set we are going to use to carry out the testing. So this is what we'll carry out. We call them test cases. I think we have it here. I have a copy of it here. So let's have a look at the copy so that it will help us to flow. So this is a product backlog. I told you that beside this product backlog, I attached test cases. So this is how a test case should look like. This is what we call test case. You see here, they are very small. Let me see. Increase the font. All right, this is how it looks like. So we'll have test case ID, we'll have a title, we'll have a description, that is action that we need to perform. We'll have the test environment, where is this test going to be carried out. We'll have predictions, preconditions, what need to be present before this testing can take place, and we'll have expected results. This is the result we are waiting to see. If after carrying out the test and we don't see these results, then the testing is regarded as failed test because it didn't yield the correct result. So this is how it looks like. And all these test cases, you can generate them from the user stories and acceptance criteria. So that's testing the process here is to test every user story against the standard acceptance criteria. So every user story have acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria is a condition every user story must meet. Yeah, we've written them, but we need to test them before the stakeholder. We need to carry out this activity operation before the stakeholder for transparency as well, so they will see what we are doing. It's not like we are going to give them a report. This is a hands-on activity. And during testing, you don't come and start showing slides or showing your notes, screenshots. That is not testing. Testing is practical. If, for instance, you have a system you build, you want to log into the system, you are not going to come and capture the screenshot where someone is logging in, or where to log in and show the stakeholder, this is the screenshot. From here, you can log in from here. You show another screenshot. When you log in here, you will think, no. So you will be logging in, imputing the data. If it's a user, if it's a email address and the password, you need to put it, you need to type in, and you need to log into the system. If you need to create a new lead, like here, you go there, you create the lead, they see the lead you created, and they see the way it's working. So you cannot just come and capture lead screenshots where a lead is created, tell them you see a lead is created. No, that is not, you can use that to train, that can be training, but in terms of testing, it's live. So I just want you to understand that it's live activity. And this is what will prepare this test case, keep it ready, pending the testing activities. So back to notes. Okay. Let's look at key components of all these key documents, which is a test plan, test scenario, and test cases. Under test plan, we have key components. A test plan must have objective, the goal of the testing effort, then scope, features and functionalities that need to be tested. You need to state features and functionalities to be tested. Test environment, you need to state environment that this testing is going to carry out. Is it hardware, software, and tools required for this testing? Then you need to state the test strategy. What type of strategy are you going to use? Is it manual testing or automated testing? We have manual testing. The one I'm going to use is manual testing, because we didn't create any complex project that need automated or Selenium. We call it the automated Selenium. So, but mainly those who use all this Selenium automated testing is quicker anyway, and they use it to run to test code So it's pure testers, those who are testers by profession. You know, we are business analysts, we can do testing, but we have limits of testing we can do. If we want to be a full-time tester, then we need to go learn the automation aspect of it and become a qualified tester. So, yeah. Okay, then we'll have testing types. Is it functional testing? We have functional testing, we have non-functional testing, we have regression testing, performance testing. We must decide the kind of testing we are doing. Functional testing is when we are testing a functional feature. This is a feature. If you want to perform activity like this file here, if you want to create a new document from this Google Doc, click here. This is functional testing. And we'll have what we call non-functional testing. You know, like some of these non-functional testing, you cannot see them, like security, performance testing. The performance belongs to this non-functional. Regression testing. Regression testing is a situation where after the first testing and the test fail, you go back to the developers to fix the bug. After fixing the bug, you come back and test again. So what it means that what regression testing means, just you are testing a fixed bug. It's no longer the original testing. That is regression. And performance comes into this functional, non-functional. When we're talking about scalability of a system, the speed, all these, we can't see them, but we can feel them. And we have schedule. Every test plan must have a schedule. So any testing you want to carry out, you must state the time, the date for the testing, and communicate to the stakeholders or team members that are going to be part of the testing. And we'll have resource, testing team members, and tool. You need to state who is going to carry out the testing. That is resources. How many people are going to carry out the testing? Is there any special tool we're going to use for the testing? For instance, we need a special software like Selenium. If we're doing automated testing, then that is where such other tools are going to. If we are going to just test on the system, we are going to state that we are going to carry out the test using a laptop. Using these are various tools. You decide the tool you are going to use. Then risk and mitigation, you must have to identify likely risk and provide strategies for that, challenges and strategies to address those risks associated with, like some of the risks and challenges is that a team member who is a key player in this testing activity could first sick on that day of testing. And if the person first sick, it means that the testing effort is not going to, because he's a key player. In a situation like that, you make sure you have up to 2 or 3 people that are going to be testers. If one person didn't turn up, the other 2 can still carry out. But even if the 2 turns, even the one person can still be able to carry out. So this is risk and mitigation. To have test scenarios. Let's talk about test scenarios. What are the components? What are the key components? We'll have every test scenario must have a scenario ID, a unique identifier for the scenario, and we'll have a description, a high-level description of the functionality to be tested. Then we'll have dependencies, requirements for the scenario, such as user rule or data sets. So these are dependencies. Every test is dependent on who is going to carry out the test. And who is going to carry out the test? For the test to be, you need to have sample data set that need to be used for that testing. These are dependencies. If the person that are going to carry out the test is present and we don't have sample data sets that are going to be used, for instance, if we want to, in the case of lead management, we want to create a new lead. Before we create a new lead, we must have processed a clean lead data set we are going to use. That's the sample data. We keep it ready. If that day we want to create a new lead and we don't have a data set, how are we going to do that? Are we going to start scratching our head? So these are dependencies. Priority, importance of scenarios. If you are testing like 5 different scenarios, carry out 5 different scenarios, you need to grade them or prioritize them in the order of importance, which is high importance, medium importance, and low importance. So we put our effort at the high value activities. Okay, we have test cases, like I've shown us test cases. This is the overall input that we are going to carry out. So some of these data sets and every other thing that is going to be carried out using test cases. Test cases must have a test ID, a unique identifier for each test case. We'll have test description, a summary of what the test case verify. Every test case you take to verify something. Precondition, requirements or setup needed before executing the test. So if we are going to carry out the test and we don't have all the preconditions, we don't have a data set, we are going to, these are preconditions, something that need to be on ground before the testing needs to be. We need a system. The system that we need to work on, we need internet, we need, these are all the activities, activities and tools, all the conditions that need to, these are what we call precondition. If they are not available, it means the testing cannot be carried out. Even the person that need to carry out the testing, these are part of the condition. We must have a tester, at least 2 or 3 testers that are going to carry out the activity. And a tester is different from a user. We need to have a tester and a user. I want to clarify this. A tester is the person that organizes the facilitate the testing. He runs the testing, he organizes it. Then we have a user, depending on kind of testing, like the final activity, UAT, user acceptance testing, is meant to be the person that's going to use the system. The person is not called a tester, I will call the person a user. So these are all the preconditions. And then test step, we must create steps. The testing, the user that is going to carry out the test need to follow, because the person might not be that technical. It might not be a tech person. For instance, we are working on a CRM system, and the person that is going to carry out the test is a sales rep. Sales rep do not know anything about IT. All he knows is how to log into the CRM system. If he has used CRM, because some of them have not used CRM system before. If they've used CRM system, all they know is how to log into the CRM system and carry out some activity. That doesn't make the person a techie. So you need to create step-by-step guide the person needs to follow. Then expected results. You must show or have expected result. How, that is, we call it KPI, key performance indicator. If that indicator matches the test result, it means yes, the test is good. So we have expected. The outcome is the outcome, if the system works as intended, it must match. If it doesn't match, then it means is we have to fail the test. Then actual results, the observed outcome during the testing, which must match. And status. After testing, we must state the final result, the outcome of the test, that is the status, is either that it passed, it failed, or it's blocked. We didn't test again. So that's it. So let's look at examples. So we'll start from example of a test plan. So if you've not seen a test plan before, and you are a business analyst or you are a project manager, and you are now standing to test because you can do it. Anybody who is within this bootcamp or is a project manager can carry out. So if, for instance, you are the project manager or the business analyst, you can use this template to plan your own activity. So this is a template. So some of you might be asking me, where is the template? There is no special template. This is what we call a template. I don't have to come and create it. All you need to do if you want to carry out a test, open a fresh Word document, copy this, paste it there, customize it, and you have a test plan. But this is for Dynamics 365 ERP, Business Central. Then we'll have test objective. We'll have under test objective, we'll have validate functionality of Dynamics 365 ERP Business Central for finance module. So we specify what we're going to do, because we'll have different modules in this Business Central. So we're talking about, we're testing finance module. Scope under the finance module, because even the finance module have vast large amount of functionality. So we need to break down this on the area, that is the scope. What we are going to be testing, we are going to be focusing on account payable, we have account receivable, and we have general ledger. That is what needs to be done to test it, to use it, and make sure that it's working as expected. And have test environment. Where is this testing going to take place? At the environment. The environment is, it must be a Windows server, and we must have Dynamics 365 Business Central application, and the Dynamics 365 must have SQL database. This is the environment. And then the test strategy, manual, and automated testing. Why I just want you to know that they can use automated Selenium and Jira. But in this case, which we've done already, we use manual. We didn't use automated testing. Then test type, we'll carry out functional testing, or carry out regressional testing. Yes, we'll capture regressional testing. In case any of the testing activity fail, we need to come back after fixing to test again. And integration testing. Some of this during our configuration, the D365 ERP is integrated with other third-party applications. We need to test, make sure that it's working. So integrational testing is part of the testing as well. And we'll have schedule. It's going to be 3 weeks testing, 1 week per module activity. And then we'll have resource. Under the resource, we have 2 testers. Like I said, we'll have 2 testers, and we'll have 1 test manager, and we'll have 1 business analyst. So all this, maybe the business analyst can now serve as a user here, because we have a tester which is going to be the person in charge of overseeing the testing activity. And that's it. We have risk mitigation. In this case, we have data inconsistency. So in order to avoid data inconsistency is when you didn't plan for your data set. If you are just coming and you want to start producing data from your head, you might struggle during the testing. So in this case, to avoid the scenario, because I've seen scenario like that, it will happen to me as well. I just want to quickly carry out a test, and I find out I don't have enough data sets to carry out the testing. So provide sample data you are going to use for the test. It's going to make life easy for you. And we've come to test scenario. This is a template for creating a test scenario, and this is how it's going to look like. We'll have scenario ID, that is it, SC01, then description of the scenario, to test login functionality for all user roles and dependencies. User account, we must have a user account, must be set before we can test the functionality. Priority high. Then 2, validate invoice creation in account payable. Dependencies, sample vendor data must be uploaded, and priority high. And scenario 3, ensure payment posting to the correct ledger. Before that can be done, our bank account must be integrated. A bank account must be integrated with the Dynamics 365. If there's no integrated bank account, it's not going to work. And the priority is medium. So this is how a test scenario look like. Then we'll have test ID. So this is high level. Test scenario is high level. And then test cases is now when we are broken down into usable activity. Yeah, well, we cannot work on this. This is the high level. And now we break it down into test cases. This is where the document we can now use for that day we're carrying out this test. That is test cases. And now we'll have test ID. Test ID will have test description, we'll have quick condition, we'll have a test step, we'll have expected result, we'll have actual result, and we'll have a status. So number 1 here is TC01 to verify login with valid credentials. A precondition, user account must be set. And step, for you to do that, navigate to login page of D365 ERP Business Central. Enter valid username and the password, and click login. Once you do that, you're expected to be logged in. Expectation is user is directed to the dashboard. All of us know how it is. Once you log into a system, put your details, you'll face a dashboard. And when we carried out this, we are actually directed into a dashboard for other activities. And that is what is expected as expected. And then that's why we passed it. So all the things we are going to be doing, they are not new. All you are testing here is user stories. All these are like, say, login details. Login is a user story, a login page. is a user story. So we need to test the login page or login functionality, which is a user story, to make sure that's working. So that is what you want to. Don't go and confuse the test cases. You are testing user stories against what acceptance criteria. So it's something you already have. So if you want to create them, just use your user stories and acceptance criteria. If you test user story as against acceptance criteria, if the user story matches or meets the acceptance criteria, then you pass. If it doesn't match the acceptance criteria, you fail. So let's look at another test case. TC01 validates invoice creation in account payable, and the precondition is vendor data upload. You must make sure that the vendor data is uploaded. And third step is navigate to account payable, select create invoice, enter vendor detail, and submit the invoice. And expected result is that invoice is going to be created successfully. And if that's as expected, it happened as expected, then you give it a pass. And that's it. And another one here is TC03, and the description is ensure payment posting to correct ledger. So you want to post to the correct ledger, and the precondition is that the bank must be integrated. Bank integration must be completed, and the steps to carry out this activity is to navigate to payment, and then select transaction, and confirm payment, and check general ledger for posting. So that's it. And once that is done, we should be able to have payment is posted under the correct ledger. So that is what you should. Once we carry out this step-by-step activity, we should be able to post our payment to the correct ledger. But in this case, this activity, this set of activity were carried out, and we couldn't post to the correct ledger. So it wasn't posting, and that means that there is error or bug within this system, and it needs to be corrected. So that's why it failed. Now it's failed, automatically the developer will see that here there is a bug here, and they will jump in their, not immediately, they are not going to do it immediately. In their next plan of work, they are going to go and fix it. Maybe in the next sprint, not immediately. And that it failed, they don't just jump in and start fixing it. We capture it. That's why we fail it. And when we fail it, we use something like red to show that this failed, and so that we should be able to go fix it. And yeah, for something like this will pass, we need to use something like this to show that it passed, and this one passed. So when we are looking at our test case, when we're looking at our test case document, at a glance, we know where we have issue, we have an issue. Yeah, but anywhere we have red, we see red, we know we need to get it fixed, and that's it. So that is how it's done. The best practice while trying to carry out the testing is you must involve stakeholders, collaborate with stakeholders to identify the critical test area, and be specific. Use clear and concise language in testing scenario and cases. Prioritize, focus on high priority feature first, like I said earlier. Then we have reusable. Test cases must be reusable test cases. Reusable means that try to have a template you use all the time. Just modify the template. Create reusable test cases for recurring functionalities. Once you do that, it's going to reduce a lot of headache from you, and that's it. So I'm not gonna give you guys any assignment on this because you already have a project you are working on, so there's no need of making an assignment from this note. So the only assignment is go and continue with your projects. Try to create a test case for our CRM system. I'm sorry, in this case, you cannot copy because what we have here is ERP and you are working on CRM. That's why you cannot copy these test cases. Yeah, but I think you have this, so you have this also. The expo is here. This is CRM system. Do you have this? Are we sleeping? Everybody put on your camera.
No, sir, we are not sleeping.
I don't think we'll have that, sir.
No, sir. Everybody put your camera. Yeah.
No, sir.
If you are not putting your camera, I'm throwing you away. See as Susan respond, no, sir. You know, he wasn't saying anything. Now he said, "Are you sleeping?" Nobody cared. Okay, everybody. She rush and I beg. Even if you're on a duvet, you also crawl out of that duvet. Although it's hot self, so I don't expect anybody to be on duvet. Yeah.
So we have it.
Okay, so this is an expo already. I've already created this for you. So, but anyway, add it up to your documentation. But this is a test case. This is what we are planning to create, and that's it. So if you think you are going to struggle even to copy and paste this, you can ask your question. Okay, are you going to struggle?
I'll have a go, sir. No. I hope I won't.
You hope you won't. Ego, are you?
No question, sir.
Okay. All right, and no problems. Let me just leave every other person. As you guys don't have problems, I don't have questions. Okay. Very soon this our bootcamp is gonna come to an end, and I'm still waiting for success stories from you guys. So if you are struggling, if any way you are struggling, let me know. I have time for you now. All right. Thank you, everyone. And for those who are in our AI prompt engineering class, I'll see you there in a bit. Yep. Thank you, and stay hydrated because it's very hot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Nice, sir.
See you soon.